Good day and welcome to Tough Talk. My name is Steve Badier, and our topic for today is relationship failure. And we'll be asking a question: why does most overseas relationships fail when the partner migrate to Australia? And is it okay to withdraw your support from the person if they walk away or do not commit to the relationship? And joining me today to discuss this topic are Barry and Sidian, and my co-host, as usual, is Mamusu. So welcome. So to start with, let me jump straight on to Barry and making this point, just looking at taking a deeper look at relationship in general. They struggle with every aspect of relationship. It's feeling at a very high level. So I was thinking that maybe we are biased to overseas relationship, and we tend to focus much on the fact that someone was brought to Australia, money was spent in the process, and all the emotional things that go with bringing someone to Australia. So I'm looking at, why do you think overseas relationship fail in the first place?
Before I make any comment, I just wanted to say I'm not a relationship expert, but I will draw on my personal experience. Most of the relationships that are normally failing, particularly people going overseas to get married and coming back, tend to have a lot of issues. There are key factors which leads normally to the failure of those kind of relationships. One is the expectation of both the spouses. The one going from Australia, be it a man or a woman, and those who are from overseas in Africa in particular, in this case, normally tend to create a feeling of excitement which overrides the actual normal world when they arrive here. And that's normally based on the presents, the gifts, and in form of money, the talks on the phone, and the discussion maybe by email. People tend to exhibit a feeling which is not real, a feeling that they perceive as a normal thing, an expression of love, but they are not. The second thing is lack of compatibility. Most of those relationships are not drawn on real connection. They are drawn on a race connection.
Yeah.
Maybe the parents wanting a young girl to marry somebody from their background, or a young man to marry someone of their background, and that normally tend to have more of the family wanting rather than the particular person who is getting married. And in this case, you will normally see when the person get to stay together here, it will not last, because they have not considered personal likes and dislike. They have not developed a channel of communication. They have not understood each other's emotion. They have not known the experience of each other. And once you have not understood those, do not waste time that you're getting married. You are not getting married. You're just trying to pretend. Then the third thing is that the age gap. In my experience, most of the people who goes overseas, if they marry somebody of a similar age, maybe you get a young man who was brought to Australia when they were just 11, and at the age of 25, 28, they want to go and marry someone with whom they were just playing on, the African play. When you were just playing there, at that time as a child, you might have liked that person, saying, oh, that's a good friend of mine, we're playing together.
Yeah.
And now when you have grown up 10, 15 years, you think that is the same person. No, it's not.
People
The
change.
life experience have completely changed, and the person growing here, their life experience has changed, their interests have changed, and the moment you are in one house, another person want to just sit and look at each other, or go to bed, sleep, while the other one want to watch news, want to read, want to study, want to go out to dinner, go out for a movie, when the other one sit going out for a movie like, it's a burden, it's a waste of money. So what excites them are completely different.
Okay.
With the surrounding friends and network giving wrong advice. But those are key things that probably young people, when they're going to get married, which I, for one, openly spoken to many young people, do not waste time to go and get married in Africa. If you want to go and get married in Africa, unless you are going to work there and over the next 2 years you develop a relationship and then get married. But this flying you zoom and get zoomed out with a man or a woman, you're wasting your time. They just want to get a ticket here. And I think in some ways, young people have to be realistic and to be told that there are good people here, because there is a perception also, particularly of boys, that the young people here are not good, or the girls here have too many boyfriends. Or this is one thing that we need to tell our young people. I look at it from my personal experience that it is better to marry somebody who tells you that I went through 20 boyfriends, or I had 5 of them, than going to somebody who pretend, no, I've never had a boyfriend. In this world today, whether in Africa, here, or which village, if you go to Africa, which remote area, there is no way a young person will come, particularly at the age of 24, 25, saying, I never had a boyfriend or I never had a girlfriend, unless there is something seriously wrong.
Yeah.
Like for me, I'm a victim here. I once went to marry to Africa, not because like I just want to, but I'm a humanitarian. I brought like about 27 or 32 people from Africa to here.
That's good.
Yeah, I was alone here, worked that hard and helped people. And I know I helped cousins, brothers, But again, I know some of them when they came, how they take the opportunity, okay? But again, going back home, getting married, I always think like, I need someone from the same roots, wherein we can work together and develop back home, wherein we speak like not the same language, but we see the same thing. Like, okay, today let's do this, or today let's sponsor kids, or let's open a charity organization in our local community and help kids. I'm that kind of person. If you see my photos when I went back to Africa, I did a lot of charity stuff. I organized a marathon that I spent about almost $1,000. It's all from my pocket. I have 3 radio interviews, all due to the charity organization I run basically from my pocket. I'm that kind of person. So I went back home, married this person just to help someone back for my community that will come and develop ourselves to develop back home, And in this case, this whole situation turned negative. And the sense, I'm feeling the pinch up to today, wherein a kid was involved, It's just so personal, you understand? But again, there are some relationships that really work. As I said, depend the family. If the family is so religious and honest, they will really put their daughter or son to God. Say like, this person is this, okay? This is what you're going for. We want to make sure this works. And some family will really forbid you if you decide to move away in short relationship.
Those are very good experience sometimes, and there are those unfortunate. But the fundamental thing in relationship is, do not go because you want to bring somebody here. If you're going to bring to marry, go because you are going to get a lifetime partner. A lifetime partner. And the one thing that I mentioned, I emphasized of it before, is compatibility. These are not learned when you are married. You get to know whether you are compatible with your partner during the courtship.
Yeah.
The risk with going to Africa is, I'm not saying or condemning it, but I'm saying that you don't have time for courtship. You talk on the phone, you might feel that somebody's talking on the phone, but the moment you are on face-to-face, you see him or her just quiet. Why? Because internet has made things easy.
Yeah.
Somebody will just download some nice text from the internet. You think this is a real person.
Yeah.
It is not. That's the risk with going over there. You don't spend time.
It's not
And that's
authentic.
why I recommend, if a young person want to marry from Africa, finish your studies, go there and spend considerable time. Do not just zoom in, zoom out.
I definitely agree with that, Steve. Let me step in. Again, if now, at this time, if you ask me if I would do that again, I would say never in my life.
Thinking like, because you touched on something which we talked about last time, as dating preferences, and then I'm thinking, what are the push factors who people choose to go Africa to get married? Like, is it because there are not many men? Is it because of lack of trust, like you said, behave with men for women or women for men? Why do people make the decision to go Africa? What is pushing them?
Yeah, I believe there are a lot of factors to that. One, as I said, I mentioned before, maybe family. Okay, there are some people that are really family oriented. Maybe you in abroad, family say, okay, we've found a woman here, we want you to marry it. It still happen, even if you've lived abroad for long. And some family will really curse you that, look, if you don't do this, like any woman you marry, we're not involved.
The issue is our culture is a very beautiful culture.
Yes.
As African, we do have a good culture. But with the time and modernization, technology, it is working against our culture. There are elements of our culture that we might need to re-examine to some extent and give some good consideration with. This idea of the family recommending marriage, this is a common fact which still exists and will continue to exist. However, the risk with that is each time, if there are older people who are recommending to their younger people, somebody might say, oh, I know their father and the mother is a good lady, they're a good family, without considering the character of the person who is going to be married. That is what could be a factor that will cause problems. Because in our most African cultures, there is this expression that the fruit that falls under a particular tree is as good as the tree that fruit has fallen from.
Yeah.
So you will not get an orange falling under a mango tree.
No.
So a mango tree falls under mango tree. That, to some extent, is good, but it might not work today.
Yes.
In the early days when technology was not there, because the parents and the local community are the key people who helps bring up young people. That was a very good consideration, or a proverb that would work, because if your parents are good, you are not exposed to any other environment.
Yeah.
You are exposed to your parent and to some good family members from your community.
Yes.
Then they bring you up there. But today, a young person might get a book and with a phonographic magazine, double up and reading. When the mother comes, fold it up, I'm studying science. That the parent don't have total control on that completely. They have their own mobile, they can see whatever they want to see.
Yes.
The parent don't have that. And those things can easily affect the decision making of young people without us knowing it. And it is a challenge that really put our culture on a very serious footing that we need to consider. But all in all, it is still work. Even if some marriages are very good, which are recommended by the adult, but still the young person as well need to spend some time to get to know that person recommended. And the distance does not allow that. But if you have a girlfriend in Africa, first of all, without considering any economical issues, time difference, almost 7 hours to some countries. Some countries may be more, depending to which location in Africa. Those in the West would have longer time. That as well will affect us. You might need to ring her in the night. If you are working early in the morning, you are draining yourself emotionally. And that's why when it fails, people create a sense of bitterness because they have invested energy, time, money, and all those kind of things. So for me, I always go for what is best and cheap. Maybe I love money. So what I see is there are very many beautiful young ladies around here. There are very many handsome young men. When I brought my brothers, I brought 2 brothers and a sister. I told them point blank, I said, told my sister, if you think of going to marry in Africa, you're wasting your time. You're wasting money. Focus when you think the time is right on a serious relationship here than flying over and coming. My stepmother, because I brought those children, we are different moms, but my stepmother want my sister to go and marry some man in the camp. I said, there's no way my sister is going to marry some idiot who who never know my sister before. Simply, she got to know my sister because
She's overseas.
you, my stepmom, he said, my daughter is in Australia. It's not going to work. And because I have the overriding power, I overrode it. So my sister is married here, 2 children, beautiful, good.
happy.
If there are issues, I go physically there and sort it out. But of course, again, it will never be 100%. There is that percentage of high likelihood that
Yeah.
you will see a very good thing and it will fail. So,
There's this saying that goes on within our communities here where it says when you bring your spouse from Africa, you're bringing it for somebody else but not for yourself. What do you think about that?
if you bring a man here and instead of looking after him, you begin to complain, you see next time somebody invite him for a dinner, watch out. Watch out.
Yeah.
Because he gets a nice soup, next time he moves where there's a nice soup and where he will be treated. But that is also a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's a bad idea. It's a bad idea because it creates a lot of commotion in the community.
Yes, definitely.
At least it would be good if you waited until the man is maybe kicked out and then you say
I'll
you can
take
start
it.
making your
Yes.
thing. But there are people who are having an ill intent out in the
Yes.
community from my experience. In that light, it's not so much at the moment. 2007, 8, 9, there was a lot of people with the ill intent because there were many women who were also single. They will tell you point blank, you brought yours, you brought him here, if you don't look after him, he's gone. And it is true.
And it happens.
And
yes,
it happens.
yes.
Well, I would just say like it's a very what you just touch on, what Mamusu just commented on. I've been an example of that. You know, I'm a very hardworking person. I told you right now I'm sleepy. I brought this person from Africa. When I go to work, this is my community friend sneaking in my house. You know, so it happens till now. Today, he is with a woman. They even have a child. So it's very ill thinking when you think of that. You know, so it's really crazy, man. I don't know why people do that because if you've got a time, you've been here like this person was here before me, and I think you had the opportunity to do even better than I did, you know, because when I came here, these are the people that even welcomed me when I came here, you know, and to the extent for me to be treated like that, I was once upon sent to Africa by this person to the wife, his wife and kids in Africa. I organized dinner for them in my own house, you know. Yeah, you know, yeah, I was sent even about to like 2 different women apart from the married wife, you know. So now he decided to take mine and make it his, you know. So it's kind of funny. But me, as I said, even my yet unborn children, I would never advise them go to Africa and take anyone to bring here because of example I've gone through and reasons best known to me, you know. Yeah, they're really personal, but just to touch base, you know. I mean, I don't think it's. I'm just arguing in this way, but I think if even my mom is alive, will forsake me for doing that. Forsake me. I'm not ever gonna do that anymore. No, forever. I will not do that. Forsake me. You understand? Because those people are so cunning, man. What brother touch on? It's all real. Okay, these people back home, they are so cunning. Whatever peaceful or best the family is, you understand? Just bring the person here. You see the big difference. You understand? One, neither she is in or he is in a strong relationship back home. She will even be using finances from home, sponsoring the other person that is out there. You understand? Or before you know this person that the family is good, but you don't know this kid how he or she has grown up. She's flirting around, making life miserable for herself. And when they travel abroad, the same thing follow them.
You see, one thing that probably we need to be aware is, particularly for young people, attraction is central to beginning of relationship. You can't get attracted on the phone. Like person like me with a deep voice, some women would get attracted to that, but that's not sensible. That's not a sensible way of getting attracted. You need to get attracted to somebody by seeing them, touching them, feeling them. And that's the thing. Why I say that is because there are people here in Australia here who thought they were in a relationship over the phone. They were in a relationship. They were processing the lady. And this lady has somebody whom she met, she saw, she felt, and attracted to. Also in Australia. Guess what? The day she was arriving in Perth, the international flight, and then we'll have a transfer here. The people who knows her, the guy who knows her, whom that lady is attracted to, made a drive from here to Perth a day before. She got off international flight, pick her, they are driving back to Adelaide. And then you here ignorantly, who think you have a relationship on the phone, was waiting to receive her in the final destination. She never appeared. She's already in Australia. And up to today, that guy has married. Investment that has gone on that. Time, money, everything. If I were that guy, I would be broken completely. Because I can't put food in your mouth and you bite my hand again on top of that immediately. So you can see how the risk. Not everybody's lucky. This is a worst scenario. This is a worst scenario. But young people have to be open-minded
and cautious.
Whatever they are putting their foot in, they must make sure that there is no naked electrical wire there.
Okay, just to a point, our last question, right? So, what would you do if you brought someone who, before they got their permanent resident status, walk away from the relationship? Will you withdraw your support where immigration going to send them back, or will you just let them, live their lives?
For me, definitely, I'll send you back. If there is a way for you to go back, definitely I'll send you back. I reached to a point with mine. There was a baby involved, even in Africa. I employed a nanny to hold this kid for this person. I employed a nanny that I've been paying monthly in Africa, So, came with the child here, 9 months old. I was in uni final year by then. So imagine in uni I was working full-time, study full-time. And I was like footing because by then 1 year, because of the kind of visa, you got no money, no help from the system. So I was footing the bill, and unfortunately this person became ill. No Medicare, nothing. I have to undergo surgery. I know what I went through, you know what I mean? So for me, after all that, even though there was a child involved, I would deport you, then later find a way to bring my child over. No, to be honest, let's call a spade, because if you are so wicked, because where the whole thing started, it's just like, I was sharing with my elder sister, you came, join me, 3-bedroom, and you start saying, I can't live with your sister. When I go to work, you go in and lock yourself in. You never come out to even have time with my sister to cook. And this is my sister who recommended you to me, that you're a good person, you know what I mean? Now you come, we all sharing. I said, wait till I finish uni, get a job, we live on our own. And in fact, being that we have a child, we live with my sister. When we're going out for dinner, there is somebody looking after the child. This became a drama. But these people, when they come, they'll find any little excuse to go away. To be honest, every little fault. Either they will tell you didn't brush your teeth well, or your mouth stink, or the table in your living room, this is not how I saw them on photos. So now even I can't sit down. You know what I mean? So these are like people, they're very wicked. They have ill intentions. When they meet the good ones, yes. But when they have ill intention, they will do it. So it's like, I can't live with your sister. I'm going to say, but look, only job, 2 of you, I have to buy baby diaper all the time and stuff like that. Look after you also, And first of all, sometimes it just depends on the heart. To the extent that you try to invest the person to make this person a good person before even joining you. You know what I mean? I even go to the extent, pay driving fees, everything for this person to learn how to drive. That doesn't make me a bad person. That doesn't make me a foolish person. That shows you how I cared for you. Unfortunately, the dad passed away. I told this person that go to the mortuary or the funeral home, select the coffin that you wanted. One of the expensive one they choose, I bought it. And that's the whole family plus the person, they just kicked me out. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that I was foolish. It's just me showing love to someone I loved and someone I grew. Brother, most of the things you said make sense. But love has no boundary. When you love someone, you just want to, if you have the opportunity, you just want to please them and make them happy and make them comfortable. You understand? So did all this, and now today, even with the one child that's here, okay, coming back one step, reached to a time, he said, oh, I can't live with your sister. I can't live if we can't find a place. One day, I just met her with a box saying, I'm going to Sydney. Now she knows someone in Sydney. Went to Sydney. And this thing, the thing is, when they leave, they come back, don't give them second chance. I'm telling you this from all the failures, or all the point that I went down. When you give them second chance, their intent is so nasty. So we are on media using that word, you know. Yeah, so for the second time she came, family said, oh, for the sake of the child. You hit on that point, said, no, don't do anything for sake of child. You understand? For the sake of the child, just accept. Now she came in with a bad plan. A plan that nearly cost me my job. Went to court for 2 years. And even with the only child we had, held the child with her. I'm paying child support every fortnight, $500. You can't believe it. You understand? So this is how wicked they are. So but the thing is, some of them know how to play the game very well. This person played the game very well that I signed the last document before ever she even started, you know. Because when she left for Sydney, I was thinking, I need my son. I really want my son. I used to travel to Sydney. So one Christmas day, I went to visit. I met like this white puppy visiting, like, you know, this is the boyfriend. You know, so, I mean, if I have, it's just that here it's not like America. America, you can kick somebody, deport them anytime you want. But here the law is so different. As soon as they've got that document, bam, it's done. Yeah, it's done. So I signed the document, finished before I know it, you know, the damage has been done. But I can tell anyone that if a person, you did this much for the person, even just by bringing them here, they step out. They don't deserve any better. Let them go back. And giving them by second chance, those people that come to talk to you that, oh, please, just give him a chance. They are the people that will sit down and laugh at you because this person is coming with a very nasty plan this time. If you don't take time, they will sink you right down because they're coming for an intent for that document. And they've got a lot of orientation before coming back.
Listen, the idea of whether people should deport those people, it would not be a good idea. I would always recommend. This is what I emphasize on. If anybody, or a young person, or a grown-up man, or people who are a little bit considered elderly, decide to marry from overseas, they need to consider that it is not bad to consider to have a contingency plan that if this happens, what will I be?
Yeah, what will I do?
Especially if you have property, you have house. Remember, the moment somebody enters as your spouse, she's entitled to that. I might sound negative but you need to consider that, have that planning in place that if this is the case. And that's where I think always the best thing is if somebody has no option but to go and marry from overseas, they need to bring the spouse before she got a child. I know many people are advised, go there and leave her with a child. It is easy to bring them here to process that case, but that exposes you. Should it not work, you are at a very big disadvantage, whether you are male or a female.
Let me just say thank you to Harry and Cillian for coming on. And thanks to my co-host, Alma Musu. So please feel free to leave your comments and suggestions on the link below. So thank you.